Alright guys, it's the first week of January 2020, and after a few fun days with friends, I finally managed to get myself out into some nature. Now, I wasn't really expecting to find anything because this trail I just found on the map and decided to explore was looking pretty barren, but I found this really nice, sexy, dropped plank of wood here, and I got a surprise for you underneath it. Check that out. That is a Pacific ringneck snake. I'm sure it's frozen to the bone right now, otherwise it'd be trying to get the heck up on out of here. I don't see anything else except for this big old cute slender salamander here. They're pretty neat. They're actually known for being lungless salamanders. They are also a food source for the ringneck snake. I doubt it'll eat them, but just goes to show you just how big the ringneck snakes really are in comparison to a guy who's maybe the length of my finger here. So that's pretty neat. So I personally love ringneck snakes. I think they're one of the most beautiful species we have here in the Bay Area. And one thing that they do, occasionally, they flip themselves over, expose this nice bright orange belly, pretend to be one of our poisonous rough-skinned newts, a very toxic animal that a lot of creatures would not like to put in their mouth. And these guys also have another defense. They will also musk right at the end of that swirly tail there. He's got a little cloaca that's letting out some really interesting smells. That's pretty much their main defense. These guys are actually rear-fanged venomous snakes, but it's obviously not enough to hurt anything more than a slug or a salamander. So these guys are perfectly harmless to you and I. I've caught a lot of these guys and I've never even had one bite. So that's pretty cool. Let's stick him back and let him on his merry way. Hey puppies, how you doing? You guys friendly? You seem pretty friendly. Or at least you do. You got your ears back. I don't know about that, but you're pretty chill. Huh? Oh, puppies. Oh yeah, look, they're gorgeous. Oh, I get it. That's a mom, that's a baby, I think. Yep, that's what it is. She's just being a good mama, being protective of her baby. Oh yeah. Look, good horsies. Alright, so check it out, guys. We are here at my place, and I figured a lot of people would be really happy to see what kind of critters we got running around in here. So I'm going to do like a quick rapid fire tour of like all the critters we got. Feels really weird talking to a camera. Starting on this side of the room, there's my Herping bag. Right underneath that is my California king snake. Not that king snake. That king snake. Next we have Nova Guinea carpet pythons. I actually bred these ones myself. These are actually a very rare subspecies. Well, I think should be a subspecies, but these are not jags whatsoever. But they certainly look like it. Neat. And here we have Boo, my bamboo ball python. Well, bamboo yellow belly ball python. He's actually been a pretty darn good breeder for me this season, and hopefully we'll see some of his babies soon. Here is Apollo. He is a baby that I actually produced. Out of nowhere, he came out with this crazy ocelot trait. That's where all the spots occur in his pattern there. You can see all those little dots that happen in his side pattern. Yeah, none of my babies ever hatched out with that before. And that makes him pretty cool. So I'm holding on to him, seeing how he looks. And right above him, you can see his mama. That's freaky. She is a coastal carpet python. She's probably about 8 or 9 feet long. She's been a really great breeder for me in past years, but she's taken this year off. She's eaten lots of baby rabbits and rats and stuff. Just try to fatten her back up. Here we have a truly spectacular snake. This is Xena. She is my, what was this, 2017 Nova Guinea carpet python. As you can see, she really looks like a jaguar. But like I said, the Nova Guineas, they don't have any jaguar in them. They just kind of look that awesome. I'm really hoping she'll breed for me in a couple years or so. Well, maybe next year. I'll fatten her up. Then we've got my Arizona Mountain King snake here. This is kind of a snake I got more so as an understudy for my California King. I do educational programs, birthday parties, stuff like that. And I kind of figured my king snake gets brought to all these things. Occasionally she'll need a break, and I'll need something different to impress the kids with. And I figured I better teach him the old phrase, red touches yellow, kill a fellow, red touches black, friend to Jack. Although that might not be entirely true in certain parts of the world. Yeah, sliding on over. Get to see Mr. Goontz. Mr. Goontsy Woontsy. This is Gunter. He is my blue tegu. I locked the door on myself, so I can't pull him out right now. But he seems pretty darn happy right where he is, sleeping in the sun. Up above him we have Namira. This is, well, technically she's my partner, so we'll see how long I get to keep her. Hopefully forever. I really love this snake. I like the girl too, but I really love the snake. She is a motley golden child reticulated python. One day she could be about 18 feet long. She's a big old girl already, and she's super friendly. I love her. When you get her out into the sunlight, she looks just like the back of a CD. She's super reflective and iridescent. Right above that, we have Lil Gideon. He is my 13-foot long ultra ivory reticulated python. His hide is a cat carrier. He's a sweet boy. He comes with me to all the fun shows. So coming on over here, we have the Tarantulas. These are my P Metallica cages. And there's a Gargamel right next to him. He has been loving this new cage. Running all over the place, eating all kinds of isopods, getting his Pangea in. Over here we have my big female zebra carpet python. She's a gorgeous girl. She was born in 2013. She was probably one of the originals, and I just love her. This is Hera. She is supposedly a highlighter line jungle carpet python. I got her from a store I used to work at. I used to work at Augie's Dragon Room. And he had this girl and thought he was going to have a breeding project, but the male he bought ended up being a girl too. So, usually that's not a problem for people, but in this case it was, and I decided to swoop on the chance and buy this girl because she's just so darn beautiful. And under that I have Adonis. This is the OG. He is my tiger jaguar carpet python. He is probably my favorite snake ever. He's just so beautiful. He's so friendly. All my other carpet pythons, I have to reach in and get a hook and, you know, poke him and stuff to let him know I'm not food. This guy, even though he's deep in shed right now, his face is all swollen, he's all gray and dull looking. He just let me reach in and grab him. He is an amazing snake, and I love this guy so much. He kind of got me into carpet pythons. Unfortunately, the light in his cage isn't working right now. So this is Demeter. She is my tiger caramel coastal carpet python produced by Nick Mutton. She's got a great pattern on her. Great personality once she's out of the cage. Usually I have to pull her out with the hook because she has got quite the feeding response. Alrighty, so in here we have a myriad of different snakes. I'm just going to go rapid fire through them really quick. This is Obsidian. She's a big old black rat snake. She's super duper friendly. Alright, so this is probably my coolest, newest acquisition. This is Soul. He is a northern white-lipped python. Personally, I always like the northern variety a little bit better. Well, I should say subspecies. They are a different subspecies. I like the northern subspecies a little bit better because their head is a little bit more distinct. They have that cool gold side, and they're just as iridescent as their black counterparts. Let's see if you can get them into some different lighting. That is a gorgeous animal, isn't it? So this is Raiden. Raiden is another jungle zebra carpet python. This one was actually produced by Nick Mutton. So these two I'm not going to mess with too much because it looks like they're having a little bit of some hanky times. Yeah. That is Pixel, my orange dream yellow belly ball python, and Mal, my firefly enchi ball python. So hopefully I'll be creating some really nice orange stuff. And this is River, my firefly champagne ball python. This here's Archimedes. He an old man. This was actually basically a gift from Nick Mutton. He's really old. He's probably like 15. But he still gets around. He still eats his food just fine. But you can see he is a prime example of a Nova Guinea. He's got really thin body size, a really chunky head. He looks more like a green tree python, frankly. I tried setting him up like a green tree python once, but he didn't do quite well enough. This big sexy girl is Borrega. She is my Mojave ball python. This is Ajna. She is my Fader Super Blast. And this is Leopold. Leopold's my leopard gecko. He comes with me to shows and stuff. He thinks my fingers are worms. He's cute. This is Amethyst. Looks like she's about ready to shed too. She is a pastel puma. This is Millie. She is my giant African millipede from Cycloptic Exotics. I help them out at shows, and you might also know them as Heretic Nature on YouTube. She's just kind of rolling up waiting for me to toss some food in there today. Up here we have my green tree monitor. Somewhere. Hiding. Like usual. Alright, I think that just about takes care of my room. Let's check out downstairs. Alright, so my roommate's gone, but a lot of these animals down here are actually his. Let's go over some of his animals real quick. So that is the Egyptian sandfish, the little sand skink. It runs around every morning. You usually see it early in the morning. We got his western hognose snake in there. Got my big old selenite right here. There's nothing in this cage at the moment, though he was talking about putting a whole bunch of emerald swifts in there. Down here we have my little favorite modder in the whole wide world. My favoriteest lizard, really. This is Ruby. She's a spiny-tail modder. She's super duper friendly. Like, will just run up and down your shoulders, run into your hand. She's the best. I can't say enough good things about this little tiny lizard here. And over here we have a pair of crested geckos. Down here we have Nick's milk snake. Milkshake. I don't know what its real name is.
but that's what I'm gonna call it right now.
Here we have his saltwater tank. Not sure what's in there. Don't think anything's in there. Nothing's in there. There's a tarantula. Or no, that's the flat rock scorpion. Gonna put his feeder anoles in there for the African bush snakes, which are going to inhabit this cage, which is currently home to a bullfrog. That's all his too. I don't really have much down here, to be quite honest. I have my bugs and 3 vertebrates, so. But underneath that is Chai, my cave-dwelling rat snake. Underneath that is the Walma python. Now over here we have my tarantula cabinet. These are all my various inverts, fossils, and bones and such. All right here in this cabinet. That's a whole other video in and of itself. Over here we have the 225-gallon fish tank. These are all Nick's fish tanks. He does a lot of communal stuff. So I have a curse about fish. Every time I say it's one of my favorites, it dies. So we're just not gonna compliment these things at all. They're stupid. I hate them. I love you. I love you, fishes. Up here we have a couple more of my tarantulas. We have a P. metallica in that cage. We have a Chilean rosehair in that cage. And we have a metallic pinto in that cage. Over here we have the tokay gecko. See if we can spot it actually. There it is. Here we have the indoor turtle pond. Right now the water's looking a bit murky, but what are you gonna do? There's 4 turtles in there. Here's the little painted slider. Here we have the bearded dragon, Eback, also known as Piggyback, because she has a brother named Pig, and she would also ride on his back. Now he moved next door, but she's got this big old cage down to herself. It's not too terrible. It's about 4 feet long. Now underneath there we have a little paludarium thingy. And right next to that are Nick's little house snakes. So here we have the 125-gallon communal tank. A lot of these are actually just grow outs for that 225. We'll move out some of those catfish from there, put some of these guys into that. We're looking at a couple of big severums. I really like the Lamparhinus. Now let's just fade the fishy's hair. And down here we have Ringo, my red-footed tortoise. He's real cool. He comes with me to all the shows as well. And here he's got a couple of, what are these? The T10 version of the Reptisons. So he's got a lot of UV happening in here, but I still take him out to the park. I try to take him outside as much as possible. Give him a huge varied diet. Lots of squash, lots of veggies, lots of greens. But I mostly staple on Missouri tortoise chow. Up here we have probably Nick's latest and greatest invention, creation, whatever. This is actually a cohab. Now we all warned him and we all gave him as much guff as we possibly could, and he did it anyway. And I gotta say, it's not looking too bad. Cohabs can be done if they're done in the right environment with the right species and the right animals, and seems to be working out pretty well. Right there you can actually see his frilled dragon hanging out on top of the fountain. There's also 2 brown basilisks in here, but I'm not seeing them at the moment. And now we have my Pac-Man frog. We also have some birds, little tiny finches. Alright, I think that's just about it. That was kind of a quick tour of all the animals we have in the menagerie at the moment. So yeah, we'll revisit some in the future and hopefully upgrade some of those cages too. I know the retakes need a bigger cage. I need a
I basically need to redo my whole room. So we'll be doing that sometime over the year. So stay tuned.